you're gonna walk 80% gonna be on snow.
Yeah, okay.
And
80%,
and 20% maybe on land.
Okay. For now to Amarnas.
From now to Amarnas. And this is a place we have used for generations. My father was here, my grandfather was here. They come here for fishing in this water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beaucoup de temps ont passé déjà depuis ma première visite en Laponie, et à l'époque, j'étais très loin d'imaginer que je reviendrais 8 ans plus tard pour traverser cette région isolée à pied. La Laponie est une région du nord de la Scandinavie, au-dessus du cercle polaire arctique, et qui englobe une partie de la Norvège, de la Suède, de la Finlande et même la péninsule de Kola en Russie. Couverte de vastes forêts boréales et de collines qui moutonnent à l'horizon, elle abrite de grands prédateurs comme le loup, l'ours et le glouton, et elle est souvent considérée comme le dernier espace sauvage d'Europe. Mais cette région très préservée abrite également un peuple autochtone, les Samis. Ce dernier, en s'étant peu à peu intégré à la population scandinave, ont pour la plupart délaissé leur mode de vie traditionnel pour une vie moderne. Mais malgré tout, certains continuent d'exercer leur activité ancestrale, symbole de leur identité, la culture du renne. Et ils entretiennent un lien étroit avec cet animal emblématique de la Laponie. À vrai dire, j'étais parti sur un voyage à vélo. Durant 2 mois, janvier et février, j'avais pédalé du sud de la France jusque la Croatie, avant d'être complètement mis en déroute par la situation sanitaire et cette fameuse épidémie de coronavirus. Et face aux frontières qui fermaient les unes après les autres, je suis revenu précipitamment en France pour repartir le plus vite possible en Suède, afin de me réfugier dans la forêt et de reprendre avec enthousiasme mon vieux projet de marche vers le Cap Nord. Le 9 mars, je suis arrivé à Stockholm, la capitale suédoise, et après une courte escapade dans les montagnes norvégiennes en autostop, je suis revenu en Suède, tout proche de la frontière norvégienne. L'idée était dans un premier temps d'expérimenter le réseau Workaway dans des fermes autosuffisantes, en attendant l'arrivée des beaux jours pour commencer l'aventure à pied. Le Workaway est un réseau d'échange basé sur le travail bénévole qui, en échange de 4 à 5 heures de travail quotidien, permet de vivre sur place, d'apporter son aide dans divers domaines et divers projets, et de s'immiscer un peu plus dans la vie locale et la culture du pays. J'attends, assis sur mon sac à dos, à un arrêt de bus au milieu de la route à 15 km du village d'Amotfors. Une petite voiture rouge s'arrête, c'est là que je fais la connaissance de Nathan et Sophie. Nathan est un jeune anglais de 21 ans, fraîchement installé en Suède, qui suite à l'acquisition d'une maison avec 1 hectare de terrain, se lance dans un projet d'autonomie et dans une démarche la plus écologique, saine et minimaliste que possible. Adepte de la philosophie de vie frigane, ce jeune homme expérimente sans modération un mode de vie en totale harmonie avec son environnement. Opposé à la société de consommation, il vit avec le minimum, répare, recycle et produit au mieux les choses par lui-même, avec une certaine sobriété heureuse, comme dirait Pierre Rabhi.
I consider myself a freegan. It's also called an anti-consumerist. I oppose this consumerist society. I don't want it in my life. It's kind of a mindset. You think first, how can I get this for free instead of consuming more? How can I find it, make it, get it in nature? Maybe there's some alternative that's more simple, more natural, more holistic. I was inspired by permaculture. This is the way in which I want to be self-sufficient. It's rising in popularity now. It's a method of gardening, of agriculture that follows nature and doesn't destroy it. This is what I want to do. Specifically, I want to do it through forest gardening. This is even newer than permaculture, but there are great examples around the world, and I want to join one. I want to be one of these examples. Forest gardening is to plant perennial crops, so that's trees, bushes, herbal layers on the ground, everything which comes back every year. And ultimately that creates an ecosystem. It imitates a forest. There's minimal disruption to the ground, even no disruption to the ground. Every year the soil is improved. Every year you get more produce. Every year you get less labor. That is a model for society that I like. I want to show that it's possible, even in a climate like Sweden.
En attendant de pouvoir faire fonctionner la pompe à eau connectée au puits, une fois par semaine, Nathan se rend chez son voisin pour remplir ses réserves d'eau. Également autonome en électricité, des panneaux solaires reliés à une installation électrique et une batterie lui suffisent pour satisfaire sa consommation électrique très modeste. Le bois coupé aux alentours de la maison et entreposé dans un abri lui assure également un confort chaleureux durant l'hiver et lui permettent aussi de faire à manger sur le poêle à bois. Ici, rien ne se perd, tout est recyclé. Tout comme la nourriture, en attendant de finir les réparations de la maison et de se consacrer plus à la production de nourriture et au jardin-forêt, Nathan se rend une fois par semaine récupérer les invendus des supermarchés. Et les quantités de nourriture ainsi récupérées sont très conséquentes.
All the food we eat comes from the dumpster. We drive to a town nearby and collect the waste from a supermarket that is thrown away. I first was introduced to this when I started traveling, and I was surprised how many people I met did it. Yeah, I was surprised the amount of food that people found, and I thought, wow, what a great opportunity. For my long-term plan is to grow all my food myself. But for people starting up a project, it would be very overwhelming, I think, to try and grow all your food at first and to have a big project like mine, like the house, to work on at the same time. So for starting up projects, I think is a great opportunity. We've been doing it for 2 years, and it's always provided us greatly. We go about once a week, and there's always way more than we can carry.
Heures. Le réveil sonne, je m'éveille tranquillement et déjeune comme il faut, en appréciant la quiétude silencieuse du matin. 10h, nous commençons le travail. Durant le mois que j'ai passé chez Nathan, j'ai eu l'occasion de l'aider dans divers projets, à commencer par la construction d'un sauna. La structure étant déjà bien avancée lors de mon arrivée, j'ai pu donc l'aider à fabriquer le préau et à faire les finitions. And then I found another one. I do the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
The communism part wasn't Catholic. Wasn't what is it called, religious at all.
Heathens. Pagans.
Yeah, that's why. That's.
Une fois le sauna terminé, j'ai eu l'occasion d'aider Nathan pour couper du bois aux alentours de chez lui, et ainsi constituer ses réserves pour l'hiver. Préparer de la terre pour des plantations. Récolter de la paille et de la sève de bouleau. Mais aussi tracer un chemin à la pelle dans de la terre complètement gelée.
Fucking frozen as well, man.
Fuck that shit, man.
Yeah, it'd be so much easier without.
Oh yes, yeah, but just some parts are frozen. But here you don't have a pick, no? Fabriquer une barrière et enfin, pour finir, le dernier jour, commencer les réparations du plancher de la maison. Mais une fois la journée de travail terminée, c'était loin d'être fini pour moi. J'ai profité de l'occasion et des basses températures pour courir me baigner au lac et continuer l'expérimentation des bains d'eau glacée. Mais parfois, le temps n'était pas toujours aussi idyllique, et parfois, ça ressemblait plutôt à ça. En fin de journée, nous cuisinons tranquillement dans la chambre sur le poêle à bois bien au chaud, parfois accompagné d'un morceau de musique. Nathan est un musicien hors pair, il joue de la guitare et chante même parfois en suédois, une langue qu'il maîtrise assez bien.
There was a split second of silence as the dart punctured the skin. Beady eye rolled back of head, body dropped from the poison. They could incapacitate me, but could not erase my sneer. I watched 3,000 people screaming while 3 billion others cheered, and he was gone. And I would soon be executed by the state. All appeals would be in vain. I was not criminally insane. In fact, I was found to be an otherwise caring and respectable member of society. Minor threat except for that one that I killed. As the sentence took effect, I just smiled and closed my eyes. There's a priest kneeling next to me. He asked me if I realized that I was going straight to hell, and he thought that I should know that the man I killed replaced and planned this whole scenario. And what I did had no significance at all.
First started getting passionate about self-sufficiency and edible plants and such when I was 13, maybe. I mean, I was telling people, I was telling my parents, telling school people that I wanted to live without money, and they all thought I was crazy. And eventually I came to about 16, going through school. Didn't enjoy it at all, so at that age, that was the minimum age to leave, so I left school then. I got a lot of shit from everyone. No one quite believed me that I was serious about living without money or self-sufficiency. But I used to watch a lot of videos and learn a lot from the internet and people doing great projects around the world, and I was really inspired. I was also inspired by bushcraft and primitive living skills and wild plants. I remember the first wild plant that I discovered was edible. I had no idea that wild plants even were edible. First one was dandelions. I thought, whoa, I'll just go and live on dandelions. I'll just go eat dandelions all day. Then I tried my first dandelion leaf and I thought, wait, no, I've probably got to find something more nutritious than this. Though they are nutritious, you couldn't live on them. And that sent me on passion, that gave me a passion to search for wild plants. And yeah, I just got curious about what can I eat. Every plant I come across, I would ask, who are you? Can I eat you? And yeah, this journey through teenagehood, I found safety and comfort and enjoyment in going to the forest, going to nature, and it all kind of came together like that. Yeah, at the same time as wanting to be self-sufficient and such. And so after I left school, I got a job as a lifeguard and a swimming teacher. Worked for a couple of years. At the same time was still learning skills about bushcraft, going camping, making this stuff, always making something. It was just fun. It was my passion, and I knew that ultimately that was what I would want to do. So when I was 18, I left home. I went to travel. I went to Sweden. Something drew me to Sweden. Don't quite know what, but I went and I did woofing and Workaway myself, volunteering from south of Sweden to north of Sweden and lots of places in between. I then went to Portugal and did the same. That was great for me. That was like the university of what I wanted. Like, you can't go study a course in this, but yeah, you can go and live in these places and be on the ground with people, and you learn so much. I really enjoyed that, and that inspired me to just do it and come out here, and I thought Sweden was a great place to do it. So for a long time I've wanted to be self-sufficient. That's the ultimate dream. I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way. I think it's the way forward for humanity, really. No one can say really, but I want to explore this path and try and prove it to be a viable option for humanity in this changing climate. After I went volunteering around the world, I decided to come back to Sweden. I was inspired by how many people I met here in such a small area that were doing really exciting things and things that I could get involved with. It felt like a community. That inspired me to move here, to find a place, to find some land to start this dream of mine in Sweden. I went back for a second year and visited my friends in this region and started to... I had no idea how I would find land. I got a bike and I started cycling around. My initial plan was to find a place, find a property with land, hopefully more than 1 hectare, 2 hectares, and with a house. I didn't care how destroyed the house was. My plan was to use a law that there is in Sweden to you can build a house of 30 square meters on a residential property without planning permission. So you can skip all the bureaucracy, all the money that they want from you, and you can build a natural building. When I first got here, it was a real state. The previous owner was an alcoholic. There were beer cans everywhere, dirt everywhere. The house was in a horrible state, and that was just what I wanted. When I came here, I really had nothing. I had just a shell of a house. I had only 1 room that I had properly cleaned out. I had a camping mat on the ground in my sleeping bag, and I had that for a couple of months. No electricity, no water, no nothing really, just a roof over my head at least. The neighbours helped me out a lot with water. I would cook food outside on the fire, and all the while building up this place and slowly improving my quality of life, which is a really satisfying journey. It's hard work. It's a lot of work to put in the investment at first, but then it's so satisfying to know that'll last for decades. We're comfortable with water, we've got lots of food, we've got warmth in the house, we've got the place is decorated, and so mostly I've been working on the house these 2 years. I've started a bit on the garden. I've planted over 100 apple trees. I've planted a lot more fruit and nut bushes. We're expanding it this year. We're also growing some annual vegetables, but we're starting the forest garden nursery. My first experience with Workaway was doing it myself for 2 years, and I thought when I got this place, what a great way to help the place along, to invite people, to inspire people. And so I've almost since I got here, a couple months after I got here, I was open to volunteers to come, and this has been such a great thing. To have company from people all over the world, hear people's stories, get experience from them as well. It's inspiring to give them experience. if they're interested in this kind of thing, this is a great place to learn. It's amazing to have the help that they come with, and great all around. I've always loved it, and it's great. I don't know, like.
Yes. Après un mois passé en ce lieu, il est temps pour moi de continuer ma route en direction du nord de la Suède, vers la Laponie, là où je suis attendu dans une autre ferme autonome. Ce petit séjour en ce lieu m'aura surtout apporté beaucoup d'inspiration quant à ce mode de vie d'autonomie. Et Nathan est un bel exemple de vie, et il démontre par ses actions et sa philosophie qu'il est possible de vivre autrement, et que contrairement à ce que les autres lui disaient étant petit, il est possible de vivre de façon plus autonome, durable et avec un minimum d'argent. Il a su adapter son mode de vie en accord avec ses principes, et c'est une histoire magnifique et très inspirante qu'il nous raconte là. Yes. Cheers. Dans le prochain épisode, je pars en train et en autostop pour Laponie, où, tout en continuant mes bains d'eau glacée, je passe 12 jours dans une maison prêtée par une âme charitable avant de rejoindre la deuxième ferme Workaway à Belvik. La dernière ligne droite et les derniers préparatifs avant le grand départ à pied à travers les étendues sauvages de Laponie.